the processor. Yeah, I'm a noob if it comes to computers. Don't. Yeah, I'll just be quiet. Go on.
Okay. So 9 pylon standard, very normal open here so far. We're not seeing much out of the ordinary here. No early pulls, no shenanigans, no early pro pull for 11-11 or anything.
Look, pylon in base from the Protoss. Is he going to go gateway expand perhaps?
Maybe, or it's very similar to how I know you like to expand Forge in base.
Yeah, but I never play Antigua. I don't like the map.
Well, I think it's okay. I think it's.
Yeah, but for me personally, it's like, where do you get the fourth? That's all I'm thinking about. I'm always thinking about the fourth. Like, where am I gonna get it safely? And
yeah.
The answer to that is, you won't get it up safely. No, but that's the case for both sides, and it is a gateway expand. Perhaps.
Yeah, 12-14. Well, we say expand perhaps because, well.
Yeah, don't forget it's two Masters players, so I'm a bit, curious what they're gonna do. Because myself, I'm not a big fan of gateway expanding, but I know it's been very popular in the meta game these days for Protoss players to do. And if you can get like a double pylon book, perhaps. Oh, that's unfortunate. You can get some nice timings, like a 4-gate can actually work if you can double pylon block the Zerg.
Yeah, and I think at just the moment he's just seeing the scout. No gas being taken. Generally, that tends me to believe that he'll take a quick third. I don't see a gas kind of around this time, but before 3.5 to 4 minutes, I generally feel like, okay, he's most likely saving up to take a third, and he'll just try and heavily drone.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that for me, that's kind of a big timing, that there isn't going to be lots of early pressure.
Yeah, but we see one Zealot's been Chrono boosted, second one being queued, and look at that. He quickly hides the first Zealots from the Overlord. Really nice play, but the Zerg has to expect something fishy is up, and
there we go. We do see the gas being taken.
Yeah,
so
smart play.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be he's just kind of reacting to the situation and taking the 4 links across the map just to kind of see where what necessarily he can try to put some early pressure on his opponent. Because he has seen
an early spine crawler wouldn't actually hurt him in this situation.
Yeah, definitely. Because you do see there's 2 zealots moving across the map here. Oh, the probe has been found though by that overlord, and is he going to be taken out here?
I think the zealots might be able to save it only just. Yeah, there we go, and he gets a couple of nice. He gets 1 link kill. It's something, right? But the Stalker is going to join up with these, and we see 6 more links in production. The expansion will be taken now.
Yeah, that second zealot, instead of it being a Stalker, is a big indicator that there will be some early pressure from the Protoss player.
Another thing to note is the Zerg is mining more than 100 gas, so perhaps he's already saving up to take behind this after he holds the initial pressure.
Yeah.
Do you think these 2 zealots and the Stalker will be enough to deny this base?
I think it's going to go down to the engagement.
Oh, but a nice surround here.
Yeah, very nice surround here.
Oh, Protoss micros out of it, and it's only slow links. With some good micro, he can take this.
Look at all those very red lit Zerglings there.
Oh.
And yeah, you're right. I think he's. He can
keep up the pressure. Is there another Stalker joining? No, he already made a sentry. And we see
3 gates going down. So it's
4 gates at the moment.
In total.
Will he follow this up with like some 4-gate aggression just to keep the Zerg busy? We see a Baney nest on the way. Zergling speed about to finish. Is he gonna be like using this 3rd base more as a macro hatch and do it like Snoot style, like hiding the all-in very well?
Well, yeah, that's you're right. That's very interesting because the wall-in is very solid though. Obviously, right across the front of the ramp. It's not going to let him in. He's already got 1 sentry out at the moment, and his warp is finished. So, if this is looking to be some kind of, as you said, suit snarl all-in, he is going to have to be careful for any counter aggression.
Oh, and the Stalker. I wouldn't have put the Stalker in the center. The Stalker falls, and look at this. He only saw those few links. The rest of the links are joining up now, and where is the sentry? The sentry is behind the natural.
Oh, wow.
Oh god.
He's got the SCV on hold position, but if he moves in now, he can actually take that.
He can barely push it.
He needs to go at least poke up to see if there's anything.
Yeah, and he's...
Now he's
Oh,
he
the
can get
probe is not on the right
Wow.
position. And this could very well be GG.
that,
But-
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we see three zealots and a stalker go to the Zerg's base though, but I think he has to worry about all these links in his natural.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he can hold it now.
But he didn't keep behind the sentry. The sentry only gets some action now in the natural, and this is just trouble. A lot of probes are gonna die. It's a sad day for Protoss.
And now with this speedling upgrade, you can see the difference here to the 3 stalkers and the zealot. This is now going to get cleared up at his own base.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now he's
Protoss
really
is just in
struggling.
so much trouble, and the Zerg is not gonna stop producing links here. He wants to finish it right here, and he will.
blame him. I think he's. Yeah, I think there you go. No more pins now. And
Yeah,
there's
he found the sentry. The sentry was out of position. With the sentry there, he would have been totally fine. But unfortunate for him, he mispositioned his probe by just a little bit, and Zerg
Yeah.
capitalizes on his mistake.
getting in.
Yep.
Oh, I wasn't sure if he was actually going to get through there. I looked at it and thought, it looks like it's a big gap, but that probe does look like it's in the middle. But
Yeah.
got through.
Was unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think it had to do with the building placement as well. It wasn't as perfect as it could have been. But anyway, let's have a look and wait and see what we will have for our next game.
But I think that was interesting. As you said, you really called it there, Snoot style all in. And I think some of the big tells were gas before third hatch, really for speedling, upgrade, and then the bailings.
It just that probe disappeared, just on hold position in the wrong position, cost him that game. It's just amazing in an RTS game that you could just make that one little decision that's going to cost you that game. It just goes to show that, you know, if you haven't seen or you're not paying attention in one spot, anything can happen. Next game coming up momentarily, guys. Do bear with us.
Yeah, indeed, and we'll get those games up for you.
Right, as of now, all games are best of 3, okay? Best of 3 series, and I do believe the finals, when they are ready, they will be casted over on Total Biscuit's channel. Please do go and check him out when that happens. We will link you the channel as and when it's ready. So yeah, everything's going to be best of 3 all the way up to the finals now. Remember, you can catch the brackets over at the reddit.eu challenger /CT31. Now, just a quick moment. I just want to tell everybody what's happened in the brackets so far. Right, so Sadop versus Next Rim lost. Next Rim goes through. He's fighting off against Nephew. Cosmos versus Moonrise now. Winner of that place is Sad. I do believe CPU and Revolution that has just been played on Arch thing. Revolution takes the win. He's now fighting off against iFan Red. Unfortunate for CPU there, but a good game nonetheless. Aki gets through to LBNT. Aki gets through to round 2. He's now playing off against a boss player. I do want to have a quick look down and have a look see where LBNT Silent is. He went up against Silent went up against a Masters Terran of Vorgin. Now Vorgin got through and then he lost to Infoboss. And Infoboss is through to round 3 now versus Laura Star. Okay.
Alright.
So that's nice to see. Nice, solid competition so far. And so from the games you've seen actually so far, I'd like to say that the standings actually has been very solid. Apart from that one small mistake in that last game, where it was just a slight miss micro, and as Derek had said earlier, possibly building placement error. But you can go back on that replay, look at it, and think, what can I do to tell that's going to be the difference, and so I know that that's going to be that kind of Snoot all in. What can I do to see it coming?
Well, that's the hard part. The way you actually scout it is simply, instead of sending the 2 zealots and the stalker to the third, you send it to the natural, and then you use the probe and right click it on the minerals so you can see if he's mining gas, yes or no, and how much gas he mined. That's the important part, because the queen will be distracted and you will just get enough info if you take the long route around to creep.
Yeah, if it's past the 100 mark, the magical 100 mark in the gas, then we can see whether or not he is actually taking it for more than just Spiegling upgrade.
Yeah. Another
But
way
we
is
do
just
have
having this. Well, as I said, it all came down to that sentry not being where it should be. It was behind the natural, probably a misclick, but one mistake can lose you the game.
Yeah,
Right.
I think he was obviously hitting the sentry with the Overlords, and then just had forgotten about it with when all those lings were just on the outside of his base, and as you said, that did really make the difference.
But alright, we're going to jump into this ZVZ.
Yeah, just,
Sorry, Jim, go ahead.
just a quick update for everybody. It's Revolution versus iPhone Red, right? It's a ZVZ, but it's a best of 3 series, right? And it runs the same way as LBNT runs their tournaments. So whoever loses at this map then gets to pick their map of choice within the map pool, which is produced on the challenge site. So please go and check the map pool out over there. So yeah, loser picks. We are just waiting for both players to give the okay. Right, back over to you and Neil.
Right.
Thank you very much. We're just making sure the players are ready to go, and then we will start this game. Okay, both players are ready to go, so let's get this game on the way. ZVZ.
Yes.
Interestingly, on Ohana, I've seen quite a few ZVZs on this overcasting over the last couple of months, and you definitely see a lot of who can take the quickest speedling open, and who can put on that early aggression first. Really does make the difference, and also whether or not your opponent can hold that aggression well enough to then, macro better into the later game.
That's true. But we'll see who opens with gas,
yeah,
or who gets the speed first. But let's first get to the important part, right? Our players spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Revolution, the red Zerg.
Indeed, and in the top left-hand corner we do have the blue Zerg. His name is Red.
All right.
Or it could be Red. No, I'm going to go with Red.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah, I think obviously an interesting start. I think we'll see very similar opens from both players, purely because, as you said, it's a best of 3, and I think they're going to want to feel each other out first in this first game.
Yeah, and the best way to feel each other out is a macro game, I feel.
Yeah, definitely, just to see what they kind of like to go, because sometimes there is, like, coin flip choices. You can necessarily go down 2 different tech paths to resolve what your opponent is doing, and it'll be interesting that they can kind of feel out which way they might necessarily go for the second game.
Yeah, but it depends as well how confident are you. I mean, a temple bailing, I would see it happen, just to see. I mean, it puts the ball. If you win with it, it puts the ball in the opponent's camp. He has to take initiative, and you can just play around it and do your own style and catch it up.
But at the moment, it seems it's very identical opens.
Yeah.
With Revolution just being slightly ahead on one drone.
Yes,
so,
advantage. I think they're both going for a 15 hatch.
I think
or no.
Now going to win. Oh wow! So we're seeing pool first, 14 pool.
Yep.
By both of them. Just because that slight lead, I'm going to say Revolution is now going to win.
And I guess. Hey, you never know, man. That one link might make the difference.
Exactly. So and as you said, he's now taking gas. His opponent hasn't taken gas, interestingly. So is it going to be 15 gas, or do you think we'll see a 15 hatch?
I think we'll just see a hatch after this.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Here comes the drone for the hatch.
And the question is really, well, Revolution, as soon as he identifies his opponent hasn't taken gas and a faster hatch.
Will he put on the early aggression?
Yeah. Will he put on the aggression straight on and keep mining gas and perhaps at a bailing nest, or will he just keep it with just speed lanes?
No, I agree. I was just thinking, trying to think of a good timing that he can hit now, because he's going to see his opponents now taking this in the hatchery, so he knows this isn't some kind of one-base shenanigans hitting in. So he knows that I don't need to necessarily be uber defensive. It's just whether or not
the same as in last game. The hatch can also be just used as a macro hatch, so there's a lot of options still available. We'll have to wait and see how it will play out.
Solution has stopped taking his gas now.
Yeah,
and so
just getting speed.
A whole 100 gas ahead of his opponent, who's only just taking his.
Mm-hmm.
So his speedling upgrade is going to be much quicker. And
and the difference between the hatches isn't that big, so I really think the speed upgrade is going to benefit him quite a lot for getting some early scouting and perhaps even doing some nice damage, sniping some queens, potentially some drones.
I agree. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's all about down to the micro then, how well he can micro his lings.
Yeah.
And if his opponent makes a mistake, doesn't necessarily stay on the ramp with the queen, all those kind of things, and let him get into the main. It'll be interesting to see.
Yep.
At the moment, we're just obviously, as you said, we're just watching him drone up.
Oh yeah, you saw what he did there. He split it off like a ling and joined up with the rest, so that one link couldn't, or one of the links couldn't get in the base to see speed is already on the way. Because
Yeah.
currently his opponent doesn't know anything about that. You see 16 extra links in production for Revolution.
Wow,
He wa-
he's hitting the speedling timing here for sure.
Yeah, he wants to bring it to his opponent, and
He's
those links are
draining
going to
his
arrive
natural.
there
His
really.
opponent has drained his natural.
Hmm?
He's not draining his natural, and his opponent has been draining his natural. So obviously
Yeah.
that
Only
difference.
2 links in production, and oh, this is trouble.
And
He's
he's
gonna-
getting the queen. Oh wow, he hasn't got the ramp with the queen. He needs to get that now, otherwise he's going to be real trouble.
Ooh, this is nasty. I don't see him holding this, man.
No, I don't think. I think you're right. Look how all those lings coming in. He didn't have the ramp as hold, and he didn't offer hold position with the queen. So now he's going to get in. And with
Yeah,
this,
there's 8 links on the way, but there's 24 more on the way for Revolution. So
and yeah, this is. I think he's on hold position here, but it's not enough.
yeah, it's not enough. A lot of drones will die. Oh, the queen
And they're
falls,
just-
and I think we'll be seeing a GG very shortly.
Yeah, I think you're right. Although that is some good micro with the drones there, but there is the GG.
Yeah, he can't come back from this. The drone deficit is too much. The Revolution can just drone up after it, and he knows he can't come back from losing that much drones and both the queens.
And that was one first game to Revolution. He looks very strong in the 2 games we've seen of him so far. Capitalized instantly on his opponent's mistakes.
Too bad.
Although I would like to see him start using something other than the ling, the speedling.
Yeah, but
Managed
do you
to
think
cripple
perhaps an
it.
extra queen would have helped? Or at least a spine crawler. If you take your speed that late, a spine crawler can at least help you. You can put it and perhaps play some SimCity, so
Yeah,
that you
no,
have to run all the way around.
I think you're right there. I think at least something to maybe delay him. That's the big
Yeah.
thing. His speed finishes. That's the big thing because he has taken a round of drones as well. He has taken, as you said, gas late. So he does need something to counteract that greediness to kind of defend against. And those few
You
lings
think that he hit
wasn't enough.
He hit the speed timing perfect though. The links
Yes.
popped out and they reinforced so fast, and if you know the speed yourself as a Zerg player in a ZVZ, it's all about in every mirror matchup, it's about the small details. And yeah, there you go. Bit faster speed can end up to a loss.
Yeah, exactly. It can really make the difference. Now we're just obviously waiting for our next game, for our next map choice from the opponent. ZVZ is a difficult one to choose in terms of what you expect to get from it. But as in which map choice, it's very kind of person dependent on what they feel is best. And what do you think on that? Do you think that's similarly like that? It's a very personal choice as opposed in ZVZ as to what you expect the opponent to be doing.
Well, yeah. I'm actually just curious about our next game, man. It was a best of 3, right?
Yeah, exactly. What's our next map? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Ithanred is going to have to definitely. It's going to be all about the metagame now. Do you think he's going to take a much earlier gas to try and counteract how early Revolution took his gas? Well, actually, Revolution.
Yeah, perhaps do a reverse thing, or perhaps he will be like, let's take a risk and go temple banning.
Yeah, exactly that.
But
He
that's
might-
kind of predictable in my opinion, in a best of 3. I kind of, if you win like that, with like speedling all in, I would kind of
Yeah.
expect my opponent to do something all in next game, so perhaps it's a bit better, a bit faster speed to be safe, or quicker banelings, just for defensive purposes.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I think spines would be necessary. I think something where it's kind of taking a risk, but you're taking a risk for defensive reasons, not for attacking reasons. So you may be slightly behind economically, but you're not going to necessarily die as quickly if your opponent does be very aggressive. But as you said, yeah, we're just waiting to see what Ithanred is going to look to get out as the next map choice, and then we can get started.
There we go. It's gonna be Cloud Kingdom.
Cloud Kingdom. That's an interesting map choice. I'm thinking from this map. I think you're right. I think Temple Bailing, because even though there's this very small corridor between the natural, the ramp isn't at the natural. There is actually a delay, and you can get in from 2 angles, and I can see some kind of aggressive open because of that, because it's harder to defend against it.
All right. So
And we're ready to go. The players
are.
ready. Let's get this game started.
Let's do it. Yeah, but let's talk about Cloud Kingdom the map. In a ZVZ, I think if he can react in time, having like an extra queen, and then just walling off with Evo Roachwar, and put an extra queen on hold position over there, I think he's pretty alright, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think as long as he does, as you say, scouts well. I think as last game he was denied that scouting information on had he taken extra gas,
Yeah.
what he kind of gone into. But okay, starting this game, we do have Revolution, the red Zerg in the top right hand corner.
Yes, and his opponent, IT 100, we'll call him like this time, our blue Zerg.
And he is 1-0 down. So it's all about what he's going to do. I would very much be very surprised if he was to like 8-pool or something, or 6-pool.
Yeah, but actually what I've been
He's not
seeing,
gonna do that now,
seen being done on this map in a ZVZ is actually the triple Evo wall off in the choke at the natural.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like as you see Terrans and Protoss doing against Zergs.
Yeah.
That wall off with barracks or gateways. It's just something that will just means the Zerg has to instantly be cost ineffective with those banings or links.
Yeah, but ever since the Hellions really got popular by the Terrans, Zergs have been paying a lot more attention to their SimCity.
Yeah, definitely. Blue Flame
And-
Hellion, that tournament in, well, I think it was in America, where Blue Flame Hellion became so massive they suddenly got nerfed.
Yeah, by the Slayers. Class. The Marine
Yeah.
Hellion lift off. But it is a ZVZ, but it did what we're trying to say is it did translate as well in CV.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
in the meta game, that SimCity
If
is
it works-
what can hold pushes.
Exactly. If it works against Blue Flame Hellions,
It should
also
work against Ling and Bane.
Exactly that. So I'm interested. As you said, we've seen an early pool again. This time, in FanRed is just slightly ahead
Well-
of his own Revolution.
Yeah, both are taking a 15 pull.
Yeah,
Similar styles, and I'm happy we don't see like a all-in this time from IT Hanred.
it's good that he's confident. He's like, well, kind of almost a build or a loss in a way. Obviously, scouting information really hurt him in the last game. But
and look at
he's
this.
like,
Revolution now going to play a little bit more greedy with this
Yes.
expo. I like it.
both are taking it as well. Both
Yep.
taking it before gas. So basically, I think Revolution is basically saying here, well, I've got the lead. You need to come at me.
Yeah.
What can you do, really?
And he can take advantage of his defensive position with the ramps into the natural and into the third base if we even get to that stage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we do see the gas still going ahead, slightly ahead for Revolution, even though I suspected if Anred was going to be taking
Yeah,
it first hit.
With a difference like this, it's not gonna be too much of a big
As
deal.
much- Yes,
It's
exactly.
perhaps
It'll
a
be
few
different
seconds where he
from-
has like
Yeah.
a slight opportunity for maybe snipe a queen, but it's not gonna be too big. Not as big as last game, let's put it like that.
Although I think we're seeing our first mistake yet of the game today. We only got C2 in gas for Revolution.
Maybe it's a specific build, maybe he doesn't want speed straight away and wants some extra mineral income.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out though, because obviously all his lava is going to be used up at the moment. He's got a very limited amount of lava until that queen comes out. So this is interesting. And there's the third being put in. So he did realise his mistake. There was just a
That's fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of players started doing that, like having two in the gas and adding in one later on once they get full mineral saturation going. He has exactly 16 workers on the minerals.
Yeah. And I'm just intrigued to see whether or not if we are going to see something different, or if it's going to go, because this kind of like this game is kind of going into.
Yeah, both players
So-
keep mining gas though.
Yeah.
They both have taken their speed, but they keep mining gas. So I think a bailing is just for defensive purposes, or perhaps offensive
And there
purposes.
you go.
will be going down.
The spine, a crawler, and the bailing nest for Revolution go at the front of this base. Now that's
Yeah.
quite interesting because I think he'll start using that as a wall.
Yeah. And then perhaps a Roach Warren and an Evo to
Yeah.
wall it off completely, so the links have to run all the way around, and he can wall that choke from ramp to hatch with two queens, perhaps.
I think you're right, yeah. And we do see his opponent mirroring that with a Baneling Nest at the front. Again, most likely for wall-off purposes, but he hasn't put the Spine Crawler down.
Yeah, and that could probably mean that 100 wants to pressure, because he doesn't put the defensive Spine Crawler down, so I would almost like to say that he wants to go
Wow,
full aggression.
I'm just going to point this out though, but all 4 gases are now being taken by Revolutions. And you know, some 2-base timing. Are we going to see something?
I think we're going to see Mutas, man.
Yeah, or is it going to be Mutalisks?
I think so. Well, he has to be careful though, because he has some good Overlord spreads. Both players have, by the way.
Yeah.
I do see a timing for 100.
Yeah, definitely. Definite speedling timer here if he does go into Mutalisk. If it's just the Roach Warren, and more of a standard open, then he just doesn't need all 4 gases. And there comes the Banelings. We do see some Banelings coming out into the field. Or is it just defense?
Yeah, but look at the production tab, man. 100 making 18 links right now. And
yeah, so his
Revolution taking a third. I like it.
His opponent's taking 12 lings. So there is going to be some defensive lings. I think it's going to be very interesting here how this is going to play out, because they've both got Banelings, so it's going to be all about how well they can micro here. But as you said, that is a lot of lings coming across the field.
Yeah, and Revolution now going out on the map, but pulling all the links back straight away. Oh, one Baneling might fall here because of that one link. Might be a decent trade.
Oh wow, he loses it for 1 ling, I think, there.
Yep.
And now he's in trouble. That is a lot of lings. Is he going to cancel his 3rd hatch?
Oh, look at all the Banelings, man. He's not messing around this time.
This is the timing, yeah. This is a massive timing. His opponent is making Banelings as well, and it's just how well they connect. I think we're gonna have to see a better wall.
Yeah, look at the emergency evos going down.
Yeah, a 3rd one wouldn't be an issue. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, here we go to the 3rd evo.
And there you go.
I said in the start, but that's a lot of Banelings, man.
And he's gonna have to target by them.
He gets all the Banelings of Revolution. He's in trouble. Oh no.
Oh, that's so huge.
Yeah, all the drones are falling. He's gonna go straight for that Spine Crawler, I think.
Yeah, you're right. And as you said there's still so many Banelings in production. 20 lings. The Spire is being made, as you said.
Oh, but he wastes a couple of Banes on the hatch. But does it even matter? More Banelings being morphed right next to the hatchery, and
there is a lot of money in weight left over though for Revolutions here. I think he's going to leave it to see if he can get those Mutalisks out and be able to defend against it. But
he held for now. But look what's incoming: more Banelings, more links streaming in. Oh wow! Oh no, all the drones are falling. This is GG.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing, because he doesn't have any anti-air. He doesn't himself have an evolution chamber.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any drones either. He has 2 drones,
but there you
6
go.
links against 40 drones and 36 links. I think it's over.
9 mutas on the way, and I think he's gonna try and turn this into a base race.
Yeah, but how? His opponent should. Oh, he didn't have Evo. Perhaps he can do some counter damage, but
he doesn't have an Evo yet. It's on its way. He needs to instantly, as soon as he's come on.
Double layer, and oh well. But yeah, the links will be cleaned up. The Mutas are gonna try to clean up these links, but it's still a lot of links.
He just go across to his opponent's base and turn this into a base race. I really just like what he's doing.
Yeah, but can he really win the base race, you think? We'll see. He doesn't give up. I like his fighting spirit. So it's 9 Mutas and a couple of links.
Against his opponents making 7 Spore Crawlers.
Well, do you think he should perhaps try to cancel these links he's making and turn them into drones?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, well, to be fair, I think the thing is at the moment, obviously Revolutions is behind, and he needs to somehow catch up. The only way to do that.
Look at all the force finishing up, man, and all the links popping out. I think he's gonna hold. Yeah, there's a GG, and we'll go into an ace match in this 4th round.
4th round game. And this is what we like to see. As you saw, a very big Baneling timing there.
Yeah, I mean, base racing is 9 Mutas. If it was 19 Mutas, fair enough, but 9 Mutas, I didn't see it happening, man. I have faith, but the faith is only that strong.
Yeah, there's only a certain amount of it.
But yeah, it's okay for excitement. We kind of knew the game was over, but you guys don't need to know that. But perhaps you all saw that. Anyway, I'm surprised what's going to happen. Are we going to see a proper macro game with roaches and infestors, or are we just going to see more of the same?
I think I'd quite find this quite funny now if we saw both of them try and temple Baneling.